Hi, and welcome to Ottawa English. I'm Angela, and today we're looking at writing task 1 for IELTS Academic. We're going to be talking about bar charts. This is the bar chart we'll be looking at. It shows the employment rates of 3 different countries. When you get to this part of the test, you're given a statement. The bar charts below show the percentages of men and women in employment in 3 countries in 2005 and 2015. And you're asked to summarize the information and to make comparisons where appropriate. So this is the writing response that I've prepared. The charts illustrate men's and women's employment rates for Canada, South Korea, and Sweden during 2005 and 2015. Employment percentages are shown on the vertical axis, and countries are shown on the horizontal axis. Overall, the proportion of working people increased during the period, with employed women showing the most significant rise. In all 3 countries, the number of employed men exceeded that of women, with Sweden having the highest rate of male employment, approximately 80% in 2005, followed by South Korea with 70% and Canada with 60%. By 2015, Canada had seen the greatest rise to 70%, Sweden had revealed an equal and concurrent drop, and South Korea's employed men had risen by a mere 5%. The proportion of employed women was lower than men in all of the countries during both years. It was below 50% everywhere in 2005, but the figures had risen by 2015. By then, over half of Canadian and Swedish women were working. South Korea's numbers were significantly lower, rising from 30% in 2005 to 35% in 2015. In conclusion, we can say that while all 3 countries witnessed an increase in employed women, South Korea was the only country where over twice as many men as women were employed during both years. So what are the components of this response? Well, first of all, we have an introduction. Following that, we have an overview. Then we have 2 main ideas, a conclusion, and sprinkled amongst all of that, lots of sentence variety. Let's take a look at each of those components. For the introduction, you want to restate the question, you want to paraphrase it, and you want to say something about the axis and what the table is about. So we would say the charts illustrate men's and women's employment rates for Canada, South Korea, and Sweden during 2005 and 2015. Employment percentages are shown on the vertical axis, and countries are shown on the horizontal axis. So I've paraphrased the question in the first 2 lines. I haven't parroted it. I haven't simply swapped out words for synonyms. That's a no-no. You want to say it in your own words. Following that, I've put the axes. So we've got the vertical and the horizontal axis. That's our introduction done. So now we go on to the overview. In the overview, you're not going to include any details. You really want to imagine that there's pictures on the other side of the room where you really can't see any of the details. So we might say, overall, the proportion of working people increased during the period, with employed women showing the most significant rise. That takes care of our overview, and remember there must be no details. Now we go on to our main ideas. In our topic sentence, we identify that in this paragraph, we're talking about men. And then we go on to say the details about the men's patterns. And then we go on to our second idea, where we tell our reader that now we're talking about women And then we go on to give some details about the women. Once we've done that, we go on to our conclusion. And here we're just talking about the most outstanding detail or most outstanding trend in the chart, which is that women, even though they were more employed in South Korea, were still significantly less employed than men. So as we're going through, we want to sprinkle lots of sentence variety into our paragraphs. Here we've got some nice comparisons, lots of conjunctions that give us sentence variety, several participles that have those ing endings that give our language flow, and then lots of nice big nouns. When you're writing your response for IELTS Academic, make sure you have an introduction that paraphrases the statement and adds a little bit of information about your axis. After that, your overview, where you're imagining the pictures on the other side of the room and you can't see any details. Then you have your two main ideas with a topic sentence and lots of details. Then you have your conclusion and sprinkled throughout lots of sentence variety. If you're preparing for IELTS and you need a little help, give me a call or text me at 613-614-6460. I can help you with some tutoring. I also do some workshops, and you'll find those if you go to ottawaenglish.com, where you'll also find some writing and speaking correction. If you're about to take your test, best of luck. Bye-bye.